Hey guys, what is up? Haven't posted in a bit. Haven't really been out doing deliveries because I've been working on applications and taking interviews, and these interviews take like 3 rounds sometimes, and it's like I try not to cram my days with like way too much stuff. So this week I'll be doing more deliveries, but I definitely need to schedule some interviews probably towards the end of the week. I'll see. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Ramadan. So, in Islam in general, because I know that I said before that I was trying to do a project of listening to the Quran during the month of Ramadan. Now, Ramadan ends Tuesday, April 9th. I'm probably posting this Monday, but I'm recording it on Sunday. Saturday I listened to a bit of the Quran again. It was early morning and it was kind of off and on, and I was kind of dozing in and out, so I don't really know what parts I didn't hear, but it kind of showed up in my dreams a little bit. I had this weird dream. If people like to interpret dreams, I'll say the whole dream. I don't mind talking about it. So I was at, I don't know where it was. I can tell you what it looked like. It was somewhere between like a movie theater with like a rounded kind of like design, but not inside the theater. It was a movie theater, like you know, when you get your tickets and you go in the movie theater and then you're trying to find the actual, you know, like if it's like number 10 or number 2 or whatever. It was kind of like that, but it kind of went around. It was like some kind of event space that had like carpeted floors, very similar to either like, I don't know, like some kind of music hall, or like a nice music hall, like the old school kind with like carpets and stuff and like nice lighting and walls, but kind of like techie looking, like a modern kind of like cyber look to it. And I don't remember if I was trying to get to a class or if I walked in for some reason. For some reason I feel like it was like, there was something to do with a construction site, but I have no idea. Like, I can't remember a thing. And I went like walking, looking for, I guess like a bathroom or something. Like, I don't know why in dreams I'm often looking for bathrooms. I'm looking for bathrooms or eating food. Like, those two things, I don't know why. Like, I don't feel like I go to sleep hungry. Maybe I get hungry at night. I don't know, but I don't feel like I'm hungry like that. But this dream, it was, you know, the theme coming up, looking for a bathroom, kind of. And for some reason, there's always something wrong with the bathrooms. But the area where I was directed to go towards had like a lot of Muslim women, and I had to go towards that because I'm female. And so I'm going towards where these Muslim women are, and there are women like outside of this, like think about like a movie theater bathroom or something, and there's people outside. I go in, there's people inside, and but when I go in there, it's not really like a bathroom. It's like some kind of, it looks like a room like at a hotel or something that you could like book for like meetings, but it didn't really have a whole lot of furniture, and maybe that's why I was thinking construction, because it wasn't like fully put together. There might have been like ladders or some kind of like tools around and stuff. I don't really remember for sure, but I think there was like something to it where it was like unfinished. It was like finished enough that people were like in it and they were doing something, but I don't know. I don't know if this place was a mosque. I don't know if this place was a movie theater. I don't know if it was a hotel or some kind of community center or a university. It was some big space that had a bunch of different types of rooms, but I'd only gone into the one because I was trying to go into the restroom, and then I was kind of worried because I was like, do they know that I'm a female? Because like I'm kind of more mask presenting. I wasn't wearing a hijab. Everyone else was around me. And the people I was with before, I just don't remember that part of the dream. But somehow I got into this space and was talking to these people. And they were Muslims. In my dream, I knew they were Muslim women. And I was just thinking, like, I don't really fit this, like, Muslim woman kind of, like, tradition. Like, you know, I'm wearing, like, athletic clothes, a baseball cap, I've got short hair. I'm not Muslim, you know, so we're kind of like, I'm there. I don't remember if I'm in there by myself, but I'm in there with other people that I don't know, and I'm trying to like get people's attention a little bit, like asking where's the restroom, like can you use the restroom, and they were either ignoring me or like I wasn't doing something culturally accurate in a way where they were like talking back to me, like talking to me and like responding, but everyone was like chatting with each other, like maybe like a social gathering, like people either knew each other or were getting to know each other and were like all talking, and it was like tons of people. It was probably like 15 people outside, maybe like 50 people inside the room where I went into. But the room I went into wasn't like super well lit all the way through. Part of it was like not fully lit. It looked like maybe they were fixing the lighting or something. Like there was something unfinished about it. And I remember there were like different age ranges, like grandmothers, children, and strollers, you know, just all women though. It was all women. And I was just kind of like, I don't know if I was bothered. I was just kind of like, it was just a little confusing. I don't remember feeling angry or sad. I'm trying to see if I wrote this down. Because I remember it was Saturday morning, I was listening to the Quran on my phone, and that's when I had this dream. I don't know what this dream was. Oh, this is from back in like February. No, I didn't write this one down, so I don't really know. But that's all I really remember. It was just kind of like some strange place. It might have been a mosque. I might have been in a mosque. And in the women's section of the mosque. I don't know. Because that would make sense. Because the room didn't really have like furniture or anything. But I don't know. I guess I got directed there because I asked somebody for the restroom. So I don't know. That was the dream. it was a short dream. I'd already woken up, and I think, had I eaten breakfast yet? This was either before or after breakfast, but I woke up early Saturday morning, and I remember like wanting, like, it was either before or after breakfast, because I took a nap after breakfast because I was really tired Saturday morning. And so that's about it with the dream. You guys can interpret what you may. Speaking it out loud, like when I'm thinking of it, I'm like, maybe it was a mosque, because in my head it looked like a movie theater. And I only saw that one room inside, but I remember I was walking kind of like, it looked like there were doors towards like a circular route almost, but it was like really well lit, like congregational looking lobby hallway. It was either a lobby or a hallway. It was big, similar to a movie theater. It was pretty huge. But yeah, maybe it was a mosque. I don't really know. I don't know how I could know. I mean, it was a dream. Actually, I don't know if this happened while I was listening to the Quran or while I was watching. I was watching this on this YouTube channel. I'm trying to find the documentary I was watching. It was something about Muhammad. It was from Denny King Coles, Kinkels, The Life of Muhammad BBC documentary. It wasn't that good, but I realized, I was like, I know nothing about Muhammad, like, at all. Like, I couldn't tell you a thing, like, other than his life took place around the 500s or something, and he was the one who got the message of the Quran. I really couldn't tell you much about his life or any storyline. And so I went into that. It's a 2-hour, 51-minute, 45-second documentary. Really lengthy. I think it has subtitles, but I can't remember if it needed them. I think what it was is that the timing was, the words were off from the audio. Like, the audio and the mouths moving didn't really match, and then there were subtitles. And I was really tired Saturday morning. I didn't really sleep good on Friday night. Didn't sleep good Saturday night either, but I didn't get a lot of good sleep Friday night, and then decided I'm just gonna wake up early anyways, because I don't want to waste my whole weekend. I like to get my breakfast in on time, and let me just stick to the schedule, because I'm like, I don't need to be anywhere. It's Saturday, so I'm gonna just, if I need to go to sleep, I'll go back to sleep, which I did, and I had that weird dream. For the Quran, I'm in Surah 9 at Tawbah. Surah 9 at Tawbah. It's called At Tawbah or Al Tawbah? I think it's Al Tawbah. I think the thumbnail has it right, and the title has it incorrect. I can't really read Arabic, but I can read Al. I know Al. I did this project way back in the day. I talked about it a little bit, about how it was a picture. Maybe I have it because I'm at home. I might have it. Nope. I don't know where I put it then. I cleaned out my drawers sometime like in 2023. So I put it somewhere else. I know I didn't throw it away, I just don't want to spend time looking for it. But I guess long story short, it was a National Geographic that I stole from my class in like 7th or 8th grade, and I wrote an article, or I wrote an opinion essay on it, because we were supposed to read an article and write our opinion, and it was before I knew that one of my classmates was Muslim, and basically it had the Nike Air symbol. It was like, if you know how the word air is spelled, it looked like the way it was written. I don't know how to explain this. I can't explain it, but it almost looked like the name Allah when you spell it in Arabic. If you were to read it from right to left, so those two kind of like the one line on the right and then the next line that's connecting to the small little, what would have been an I in the air, and then and the word air in English, and then the part that looked like an A, it was like, if you almost take like a capital letter A, round it out at the top, and don't put the line in the middle. They said that, having the name of Allah on a shoe isn't like an appropriate place for it, because technically the way the font was, for it to say air in English with that weird looking font, it pretty much said Allah in Arabic. And I remember that because I was like, oh, like Arabic, and I didn't know much about Arabic or much about I couldn't really spell anything, and that's the first thing I kind of learned to spell, was just through that article that I did an opinion essay on. It was it was like one of those short, like maybe like, I don't even think it was a 5-paragraph essay. I think it was maybe like 5 sentences. I don't know. But my teacher actually liked it, and usually I didn't get, recognized for much of my work, but I guess I'd done it right, and the rest of the class, I guess she just used mine as an example. And I wrote from both perspectives. Like, I don't think they meant to do it, but then in a way, if it's offensive, or, from my own religious perspective, if somebody put the name of God on a shoe, I could see how that would be considered disrespectful. And especially in some cultures, how it is with like heels and feet and things like that, it might just have like a different level to it altogether, with people considering different body parts as like unclean and things, which I don't really know for sure, but I know there are some cultures where when you cross your legs, you can't point your feet at people or point your heel at people. And so I could kind of see, if it's one of those cultures, that it would make it even more offensive. But I don't think I put that in there. But yeah, I did take the National Geographic. I just took it and never gave it back because it had a bunch of cool pictures of like Jewish scribes and like pictures of like the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff. I was like, I need this, So I took it. And then, so yeah, my experience with reading the Quran so far, I don't know how much I listened to. I'm not writing notes on it Um, I'm just trying to get through it. There's another guy on YouTube. There's a guy on YouTube who has a video that I'm kind of watching where he is reading the whole Quran in one sitting. I think I haven't finished his video yet, but I'm gonna finish it eventually. And I guess one thing I'm noticing, because I've talked about this before, how the Bible isn't super clear about hell, topics about hell. But this the Quran has a lot about hell. It talks about it all the time. It's like, if you don't believe this, we showed you, and you should believe this. There's no excuse if you get sent to hell, kind of thing. But it does seem like hell is a bit like temporary, and I don't know if that's for some people or for just everybody. It's temporary, but it seems like hell is temporary in the Bible. I mean, in the Quran. That you can go there, but you don't stay there, or not all people stay there. I don't know if there's like a version of like why people would stay and why certain people wouldn't stay. But there's all kinds of topics. The voluntary gifts, the one, Surah 8, Al-Anfal, I mean, I like it. I'm not really like learning them and like breaking them down like that. I'm just trying to listen to it, and it's a whole lot of information. I know that there is a lot of talk about charity and giving. That keeps coming up a lot, and it mostly just keeps coming up a lot that you should believe this, you should believe this, you need to believe this, you're gonna go to hell. A lot about like, burning if you don't do certain things. I mean, I really don't have a lot of details to explain. I wish I did, but I'm not really taking notes. Like I said, it's just kind of, I think I'm not fully absorbing it because it's a lot of information. I'd probably absorb it more if I read it, but it's a lot, and to try to finish it in such a short amount of time, because I haven't even been listening to it like every single day, like since the day I started, which was already well into Ramadan when I first mentioned all this. I maybe listened to it at the gym, and like I've listened to it a couple times driving around town, but I think this is maybe the third or fourth time I picked it back up to listen to it. So I don't know. It's not easy to like listen to, I guess. Just like, it's not boring. I'm not trying to even say it's boring. It's not boring. It just doesn't have like, it seems like it's a lot of explanations of explaining, like trying to convince you to believe it, I guess. That's kind of the vibe I get from it overall. Like, that's the overall picture I get, is like, it gives a lot of examples and reasonings behind why you should believe in it. And different things you should or shouldn't do, basically. It's very like instructional, and I think that's why it's kind of hard to listen to, because it's not like storylines or like it's just a lot of like instruction, like general instruction on what to believe and how to live and what to do. It's not so much like Exodus and Leviticus in the Bible, because Leviticus is like very, it's different. It's different. I don't think I can even compare the two, but I guess overall it does make different points than the Bible, on different things, um, like pertaining to women and conflicts and charity, and those are the main ones I kind of picked up on. And I already know that the stories are different. It talks a lot about like Abraham. I think Abraham. Um, and it's really hard to put it into words. I don't think I can summarize, because it's like, I don't think I've ever read or heard anything read like it. It's a very interesting way of writing. Um, it's like a manual. It's like a manual. I think that's kind of, it's like a manual that sometimes points to the Bible, but the descriptions of what it explains from the Bible aren't the same as what's in the Bible. Exactly the same. It's a little bit different. I know the beginning had a lot about Satan, a lot about, things on earth at the beginning of earth, Satan coming down to earth. It's just, I guess it's interesting to me how much it focuses on, like, it's not only focused on hell, but it's interesting to me how much it's in there, because in the Bible hell is in there, but I feel like in the Bible hell is pretty questionable in the Bible. Like, when you read the Bible and you learn about the Bible, it talks about Sheol, talks about Gehenna, it doesn't really explicitly talk that much. It talks about the pit, and a lot of that conversation is in like Psalms. You don't see it in too many other places, and when you do, it's not that clear, because it's like there's like Gehenna is like an actual other place. There's like other places, like physical locations on Earth. There's a place that's called Gehenna, and there are places that, in Christianity are taught to be like, this is hell, but then it's like, it's actually like a physical spot on Earth as well. So it's not super clear all the time, versus in the Quran, it's like there's clearly a hell in the Quran. And if you don't follow the Quran and believe it, or at least submit to Allah, at the very least, you're gonna go to hell. Actions can be a little, there's flexibility for the actions. I'd say differently from the Bible. There's flexibility, because the Bible doesn't have that flexibility. There's a lot of commandments in the Bible and stuff, and they're explicitly listed as commandments. Do these for all time. You're supposed to do this. You got to do this or that, or else you'll be cut off from your people, or else you'll be put to death. It's very clear to, like, you need to do the commandments. But I don't know, the way I'm taking the Quran is that it's more like instruction. Like if somebody sat you down at like a new job or something and they're like, I'm gonna explain to you how to do your role. In this job, you treat people like this, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. If you don't do this or that, these are going to be the consequences. And they keep reminding you over and over that there's consequences to not doing this stuff. But there's a lot of explanation and the reasoning behind why is it usually ties back to because it's something you need to believe because you were told, and this should be proof enough for you. Like, what more proof do you really need? You're deceiving yourself, you're being deceived, you've been told, and just kind of like the psychology behind why people don't believe, how it's kind of like a flawed psychology according to the Quran, like that there's no reason to not really believe it unless you're being like stubborn or like just wanting to do bad and not wanting to like do things a better way. If you're wanting to just like create chaos, then you don't want to believe it. But it's kind of more kind towards people, like the people of the book, the people who believe in the Bible. It's like, okay, it's a little bit softer towards them. It's like maybe they haven't come fully around, but they're not polytheistic. As long as they're not polytheistic, that's a problem. So the part about worshiping Jesus isn't really like an option. It's more of an issue. You're not supposed to do that because it's a polytheism issue. You're only supposed to worship God and have a monotheistic religion. I wish I had more depth, but this is an outsider perspective from someone who read it in high school, spent a lot of time with Muslims, but was, other than the dietary stuff and the stuff that I observed of how people are, it's like a very communal kind of religion. People are pretty gentle and humble. I'm sure there are people who aren't, but the people I've known always have been. And so, that's kind of where I sit with it all. It's like, I think it's worth finishing if I can finish it, but I feel like I'd get more out of it if I read it. I might have to take another pass through. I did kind of think about Ramadan. I thought about it and I was like, it would be interesting to do, but being a female, I don't think I'd want to go to a mosque. I don't think I'd want to do the ablutions. I'd want to just observe, like sit and just be in the environment. I'd kind of want to attend like a sermon, like a service or something, but I just think what would keep me from that is the garb that you have to wear, the ablution practice that you have to do, just those things, and then just being separated out with the women. Those three things, I think, unless I went with a friend who's also a woman, I don't think I would go by myself. it's just too. It's a process that's pretty different in a way that I'd want to be more of like a spectator. I feel like the only way to really go in is to actually like practice it. Unless I went on like a tour, unless I went for like a tour, like, you know, when nothing was really going on, like if I could schedule and just like talk to them, to the imam, and just have them show me around, and like if I had questions they could explain. But I don't think I'd want to do more, like, I don't think I'd want to, like, I saw a video where some Australian teens went, like an Australian like high school class, they went, and I think it was somewhere in India, or like a congregation that most of the people who went were from India, I guess, or the imam was from India. I don't really know where they were, but they went there and were given a tour. Some of the males, I think, that had shorts on, they had to put like a wrap around their waist. Some of the women that had like more revealing either top or bottom on had to put like this whole, it almost looked like a graduation gown with like a hood that they had to wear, not all the way over their face, but like a hood that went over their hair. And then the other females that were dressed without needing the whole gown thing, because their clothing was more appropriate, I guess, were able to wear like this, like a headscarf. And so, yeah, they all went in, and the imam did the call to prayer, showed them the water where people would do the ablution, and explained how to do it, but they didn't have to do it, and there was no actual official prayer happening at the time. He showed them what the Quran looked like in Arabic, and that's about as far as they got. But it was like they were able to ask questions and stuff too. So I'd want to go to something like that. Something way less formal like that, I think I'd want to go to. I mean, it would be nice to do it during Ramadan, but I mean, it's Sunday and it ends on Tuesday, so I don't think I could schedule that in time. I might look real quick, do like a quick search, and just see if I can, I don't know, see, like, I don't even know where there's a mosque in my area. Is there one? I think there's an Orthodox church, but that's not the same thing. Let me see. I don't even know if I have a mosque in my area. I'm gonna look it up. Mosques near me. So there's a place. There's a religious school. That's cool. So is an Islamic center, is that the same thing as there's an organization. There's an International Institute of Tolerance. What is that? I mean, it's not far away. Is it expensive? What is this? I don't know what this is, dude. It looks like it's a mosque. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of information, so I don't really know. That's a weird name. Let me see. There's some Islamic centers. Does that mean that it's a mosque? There's some Islamic centers nearby me. I mean, it looks like a congregation. I don't know. I don't understand. There's a school. I'm pretty sure that's for like kids. It closes in an hour, so it's open till 10 p.m. You gotta be kidding me. How's it open till 10 p.m. on a Sunday? Looks like it has kids' rooms. These don't look like adult study rooms. That's cool. It looks like the seating is mostly on the floor. The tables are really low. That's pretty cool. But it looks like kids. It's like a kids' school. It's got like kids' decorations. And if somebody says there's a mosque, it's a mosque. I don't know, man. So I don't think there's like an easy one. I don't know. This looks like an apartment building. Dude, I don't know. This looks like somebody's apartment. It's got apartments. It's got, I don't know. You can put your shoes in. I guess it's a mosque because they have a space for praying, and it has the rugs with all the little spaces that are facing. I'm assuming it's facing Mecca. I don't know, guys. Well, as far as that quick search, that didn't really work. I was hoping that that center would be more, if it was like an interactive thing. Kind of like, what's that Holocaust museum in LA? Like if it was, well, I don't want to go to something depressing. I just want to learn and just go and be around something during the season. But I'll look on their website, see if they have any kind of community event where it's like, I don't know what, but yeah, I might come check it. I might check it out if there's something for the community, maybe. But yeah, that would be my hang up. Like I think the garb, the women's section only, and the ablution, that would be kind of my hang up. Because I don't really want to be like, I don't know. It's just it's too many different things to try to do. Yeah, it's way out of my comfort zone, I would think. If they had like a college that had some event, like maybe if the local college has some kind of an event, maybe I'll go. Let me look at that. this was in 2023, so I don't think they have anything this year. If they have something that's like, let's see, 11 months ago. Yeah, it was like last year. So I don't think there's anything local that I could go to that I can think of. I'm kind of a baby. I'm not gonna go, to a regular mosque, but I'd like to go to a service. Maybe I'll listen to one online at least and just listen to it if they preach or something. I'd like to hear like a sermon at least. So I don't know. Guys. I don't know. I didn't want to, I thought, I was going to say, I got kind of off topic. I was going to say, I wanted to, so I considered trying to pray 5 times a day. And I remembered twice, but did it once in the same day. So as far as remembering that, I told myself I might want to do that. So I'm not doing very good with this, guys. And then I also I don't want to fast, not that way, not only eating at night, because I don't want to be up all night, and I've got a lot of stuff I'm doing lately. I just can't commit to something like that right now. Now, would it be groundbreaking, or would it be and maybe I'll try it for the last day, eating only when it's dark. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe, if I remember to try it on Tuesday, maybe I'll try it. Or is it Monday going into Tuesday morning? I need to figure that part out. Because if it's Monday night going into Tuesday morning, because the thing is, so my blood sugar fluctuates. I get really severe brain fog if I mess with it, and I do not think I could function in an interview with my brain like that. And I sleep. I mean, right now it's technically lights out bedtime. It's 9:09 p.m. Usually I'm asleep by now. I'm usually in bed, sleeping, lights out. I've had melatonin by now, usually. And usually I'm up around, on a good day, 5:30. On a rough day, maybe, it's been getting a little later, honestly, like around 6:30 or so. Closer to 7 some days. But usually I'm up before the sun. So I could technically eat at night and then eat early morning. But when I've got stuff to do, I don't know. I don't know if I could, I'll consider it. I don't think I could do it for 30 days. And especially, just because, that's mainly why, because of the whole blood sugar thing. Because if you can't drink water either, like my situation, things fluctuate so much for me that, like, I really don't think I could be functional. And even like driving around doing deliveries and stuff like that, like, I'm really not that alert. But if it was to, participate in a way more like prayerful time, focus, like, let me see, like, if I did this tomorrow, which is Monday technically, but I'm gonna post this on Monday, or yeah, because I'm gonna post something else tonight, I think. If I did this on Monday, I could technically wake up in the morning. I don't know if I want to do this, guys. I'll see. Let me see what happens. Because I don't have that many days when I can even do it, really, during the actual Ramadan time. But 6:30 a.m. is sunrise for me. But sunset is 7:20 p.m. I don't even usually eat at 6:30 a.m. And I've got an interview at 9:30. So I don't know if I want to play with my schedule. But I'd have to wake up early. Because I thought about it. I was like, okay, I could do a sunrise prayer. That's not really an issue. 6:30 a.m. I could get up and pray. That's not impossible. And then praying at noon isn't impossible. And praying in the afternoon isn't impossible. And praying at sundown isn't impossible. And praying before I go to bed isn't impossible. The prayers aren't impossible. The eating, that's big to try to decide. Like, how would it impact me? I mean, to do it for like one day, I mean, I'd have to really just stay to myself because I'll be like in a really bad mood. But I'll think about it. I mean, if I'm up at like 6, I could eat like a whole lot of food early in the morning. And I don't know though, with drinking water and stuff too. I mean, the weather's not bad. It's going to be between 47 and 68 tomorrow, so it's not going to be hot. It's going to get into the mid 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then drop back down Friday. So the weather's going to be pretty decent. I'll consider it. I'll consider trying it. Trying eating early morning and then later. For one day, I'll consider it. If I can't do it, let me see. Let me set, I think there's an app, right? For the prayers. Let me just set my own timers. I could do the praying. Jeez. Okay. This is not okay. So 6:30 a.m. I mean, I'll be awake. The alarm going off at that time isn't gonna hurt me. And then add another one for noon. Does it have to be noon? Is it noon? I have another one for noon. Add another one for... Is it noon or afternoon? Wait. Sunrise, noon, afternoon. I'll pick the time I usually eat dinner. That's like 4 p.m. See how lazy I am? I don't even want to do this. 4 p.m. Sundown. When did we say it was sundown? Sundown for Monday night is 7:20 p.m. So it's sunset. My alarm's gonna be going off. And then I usually go to bed around 9. So I'll just set it around 9. That's a lot of praying. Alright. So I've got 6:30 a.m., noon, 4 p.m., 7:20 p.m., and 9 p.m. And if I wake up, well, I'm gonna wake up if the alarm goes off at 6:30. Maybe I should set it earlier if I'm gonna be eating. I can't cook that fast though. So it's probably gonna have to be like 6 o'clock. Maybe it's gonna have to be like 6 o'clock. Dude, because it's gonna take a while to cook and eat. Like, if I don't set myself up for it, I'm not gonna do it, right? So it's like, I don't know. I don't know, guys. This is like a lot. It's a lot to decide. To wake up early and eat. Alright. Waking up at 6 a.m. would not be a bad idea. I could do that. If I go to sleep at like 10, I should be fine. But that's not enough time to eat a lot of food. But I could eat like a lot. If I eat like eggs, I mean, it's gonna have to be relatively healthy. I don't have dates, but if I have eggs, instant ramen, it's already like over 500 calories. And if I make one of those pizzas, I mean, I don't want to make myself sick. I don't want to eat like 1,000 calories in the morning. But if I get like 600 calories, that could be good. And then wait till like 7:20 to eat. I'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, guys. But it'll be one day of doing it. And then, I mean, Ramadan's gonna be over on Tuesday. And I'm just deciding this on the fly. And I don't even know if I'm gonna do it well or if I'm gonna be able to like function to do it. That it pretty much means that tomorrow, once I run out of steam, I run out of steam. And I don't know what time that's gonna be, but I'm gonna bet it's gonna be sometime around lunch. I actually usually snack around 11, but if I eat a lot in the morning, I might be fine. But I don't want to eat something super unhealthy, and I'm not even doing this right, but I want to try it. It's something within my power that I can attempt to try and at least have the experience for one day. I mean, I might end up getting through the Quran if I have nothing else to do, because I'm really gonna need to like do something, something else, something to take my mind off of it. But man, I'm worried. I'm actually worried. Because I'm like, I can't find a place. I can't find a place where I can go, but maybe I'll try to find like some service online to watch. And then I'm gonna try, guys. I'm gonna try. All I can do is try. I mean, my alarm's gonna be going off all over the place, and I'm gonna be having to like stop to try to remember to do all this. But I want to try and just see at least what it's like for one day. I mean, if people can do this for 30 days, I mean, Jesus fasted for what, like 40 days? I mean, what's one day? And it's not like you can't eat. You can eat. It's just not during the daylight hours. But you can eat. So I'm going to try it, guys. I'll report back on my experience.